one of the things that we want to do is our students be involved in where they go to school. So we have a mentoring program there at Carver, and we ask all our students to be a part of that mentoring program. And so we mentor young kids at a local housing apartment complex. And so that goes along with the education that they'll receive.
Hey there, welcome to Two Pastors Unplugged. I'm Rick Probst. What a guest today. We've talked to this gentleman before. Today, we're going to talk about Carver College and Iconium Baptist Church. Legendary places. Just some amazing things have happened over the years and still happening. We're going to talk to him about it. Dr. C.L. Jordan with us. Doc, how are you?
I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for coming back. We had a chance to talk to you before, but we really wanted to talk more this time about Carver and about Iconium Baptist Church. But first, this guy, and this doesn't even scratch the surface. Dr. Jordan served in the military in the United States Army as an officer. Thank you, sir, for your service. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
A peace officer, Department of Corrections, Georgia Board of Pardons and Paroles. That was just three that I wrote down. It was almost like reading War and Peace. It was just so thick. I just said, well, I'll just hit the highlights. And of course, pastor and president. Now, Doc, we appreciate all that you have done because you have influenced lives over the years and you can continue to do so. And what an honor it is to have you on the show. Peggy and the girls, one grandchild. How's the family? Real quick.
Everyone's fine. We just had an opportunity to see our youngest daughter, who's down in Albany, Georgia, a couple of weeks ago, and we had our grandson for about a week this summer, and so everyone's doing fine.
You know, they say Albany if you're from Albany down there.
That's true. Albany.
Yeah. I learned that real quick when I came back to Georgia. A friend of mine, we worked together, and he was from. I say, "Oh, you're from Albany?" He goes, "No, I'm from Albany."
Albany.
And like you and I talked about, you being from Kansas City, Missouri. Yes. Some folks say Missouri.
Right.
So, are them fighting words if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person there?
Nah. We don't fight about it. You know, we just, we're from the Show Me State, so we just show a little low, that's all. And show you how to say it.
I have seen some YouTube videos of that state, and there are some spectacular places in Missouri. What a place. I don't know that I could take the winters again. I used to live up north for the longest time, but depending on where you are in Missouri or Missouri, I think you get a little snow, don't you?
Oh, we get a lot of snow there. And that's why I live down south now. I've been away from there for 40 plus years now. And I go home, see my parents, and give me some good barbecue. And that's about it.
Hey, there you go. Thank you very much. Love that. Dr. C.L. Jordan with us, president of Carver and pastor of Iconium Baptist Church. What got you here, Doc? Was it I know you were in law enforcement and stuff, but how did you make the segue from that into being president and pastor, or pastor and president?
Wow. So I spent the last 18 years before I became president of Carver. I spent about 14 years with the administrative offices of the courts of Kentucky, where I served as a regional supervisor. I knew that I would soon come to a time where I would want to retire, and I wanted to work in ministry, full-time service. And so that was my prayer to the Lord. I had put in over 30 plus years in the criminal justice field, and I was ready to serve the Lord on a more full-time basis. So I had been serving at Carver on the board there as a board of trustee, and unfortunately, we had a unfortunate incident that happened, the president, the late Dr. Robert Crummy, passed away. And so the board had to find a replacement for him. And so after conferring with one another and then conferring with me, they asked me if I would be willing to fulfill the position as president. And of course, I accepted. And then after that, shortly after that, I had an invitation to join Iconium Baptist Church as their senior service leader. I like to call myself rather than senior pastor, but I am the senior pastor there. And so that's how I ended up there.
I think they picked the right guy, Dr. C.L. Jordan. So let's talk a little bit about Carver. For those who don't know, the history is just tremendous. For 82 years now, Carver has been going strong, and graduates all over the world educated in Bible, theology, business management, and psychology. I love that. Tell us more.
Well, Carver, as you say, has a rich history. It was started by two Moody grads, Grace and Talmadge Payne, who were working with Hudson Taylor over in China. And then when World War II broke out, they were unable to return to China. They had come home on leave and were unable to return. So their hearts were with ministry, but one of them lived in the Northwest, and they weren't very familiar with all the things that were going on in the South with African Americans. And then the other one was from Canada. And so both of them had a very shallow view of what was really going on in the South. They ended up in South Carolina, conferring with some people. And then the Lord led them to Atlanta to meet up with a Black pastor who had been praying that the Lord would send someone to help start a Black institute, a Bible institute. And so Carver was birthed during that particular time. And so ever since that time, Carver has been providing biblical education for pastors, teachers, and those who want to enter into ministry, whether it was missions or evangelism of some sort. And we've been offering that. We've trained across Georgia. We've trained many of the pastors, those who, and I say traditionally, I'll say this in a traditional sense, because a lot of the younger pastors have the ability to go to schools that we weren't able to go to at certain times, and so or during the time that we were going to school. So we've trained most of the Black pastors across Georgia, those that Morehouse School of Theology didn't get, we trained. And so we have a rich history in that. We've trained students all over the world. We have, as you said, and you mentioned some of the things that they've done. We have college presidents. We have people who work with the Atlanta mayor's office. We have probation officers. We have coaches. We have guys who have played pro basketball who left our school. We have missionaries that have served all over. And then, of course, we always like to note the fact that our part of our family is Dr. Tony Evans, who graduated from Carver in the 70s. And so we have a lot of history and a lot of people who serve. A lot of them go on and matriculate through other or to seminaries such as Dallas Theological Seminary. A lot of our students have gone through DTS and some through Southern Seminary and others at Georgia State and other schools. So we're proud of that history, and we're here to continue that rich history.
Hey, we hear that you're loving Two Pastors Unplugged, so we want to remind you to hit the subscribe button right there on the bottom and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're an audio only, we love you. Thank you for listening to us. And you can subscribe wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. And there's a new episode that drops every Tuesday morning, so look out for that. And hey, thanks for listening. Now, back to the show.
Dr. C.L. Jordan, he's my guest on Two Pastors Unplugged, and what a pleasure to have him, the president of Carver College. And you can go to carver.edu to find out more. And also the lead pastor at Iconium Baptist Church, Iconium.org. I want to talk about Iconium here in a second. Let's fast forward. Here it is, 2025, Doc. What is the average? What is the day in the life for a Carver student in 2025? Pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. We push our students in biblical ed. Carver, we've taken off of out of our curriculum for now, with the hopes of bringing it back. Our business administration courses and degree program, as well as our psychology program, because our flagship is the biblical studies program. Mm-hmm. And that's where we want to spend our time building, is that biblical studies program. And so we're spending time doing that. And then as time goes on, we'll return to that. Now, a Carver student can come and expect to get the very best education. All of our instructors are credentialed instructors. We're certified by the state of Georgia. Carver, like any HBCU, has had some struggles. We lost our national accreditation, but and that's because of financial issues, not because we lack the ability to bring good education. No, our education is still the same, and we're able to get our students onto the next level, into graduate programs. So we're working on reestablishing the accreditation process that we had, but you can expect to come and be involved in the neighborhood. One of the things that we want to do is our students be involved in where they go to school. So we have a mentoring program there at Carver, and we ask all our students to be a part of that mentoring program. And so we mentor young kids at a local housing apartment complex. And so that goes along with the education that they'll receive. We also have a couple of missions trips that we take, one to Arizona, where we work with the Navajo Indians every summer, and another one we're establishing where we're working with students in the Dominican Republic, and most of those are Haitian refugees. And by the way, I need to mention, we do have at least 30 students in the Dominican Republic. So we've started a school there, and we're looking and hoping to do one on the reservation there in Dilcon, Arizona as well.
We're talking to Dr. C.L. Jordan. He is the president of Carver College. Carver.edu is a good place to go to. I found this quote that Dr. Jordan said, and I love it. Dr. Jordan says, we want to develop a missions department at Carver that will reach further into the urban community as well as into the nations of the world. So you don't just get a certificate, or you don't just get the knowledge and hang it on a wall. We actually put feet to that, right, Doc?
Absolutely. And one of the things that we'll be working on soon for the future is that we'll have a missions degree program, and that will be broken up into either an urban, with concentration in an urban missions program, or an international. And so we're happy and excited about that. And we're about touching the lives of people. And so we don't want a person to just come get an education and not utilize it. We want it to be fully used for the kingdom.
Not only are you the president of Carver, but the pastors I've mentioned throughout the Two Pastors Unplugged, Iconium Baptist Church. Wasn't your plate full enough? You had to add pastorate to it? What's going on?
Well, Rick, let me tell you, I have pastored now over 35 years And I just couldn't. That's the one thing that I couldn't set down. So that's part of ministry. And it kind of works hand in hand. A lot of guys would disagree with me. So, you should focus on being just the president, or you should focus on just being the pastor. I have the ability, because for so many years, I worked as a bivocational pastor. I have really the skills to handle both at the same time. And I have a wonderful congregation, a lovely congregation that I'm working with. We have a rich history. We are the oldest African-American church in the Pittsburgh neighborhood of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the oldest neighborhoods for African-Americans in the Atlanta area. So I serve a church with a lot of rich history. I think I mentioned maybe to you in private that Dr. King and some others during the civil rights movement actually met at our church on occasions. We walk up and down the streets in the community. People in our community remember those times. And so we have a lot of rich history there at Iconium Baptist.
I was going to ask you, by chance, are there members there still, or the community that were there when things were happening and with the civil rights movement and Dr. King there? How amazing is that?
Yeah. While I was growing up in Kansas City and reading books about Dr. King, and for me, it was just so far away. And I would never have dreamt that I would be in a place today where people actually spoke with him, walked with him, talked with him, places where he had gone. It's really amazing. And yes, we have a lot of people who are still there. Some were kids in the 60s. Some are now up in, of course, in age, in their 80s, and some in their 90s, who remember and recall some of those times. So we love that we have that rich history. And one thing about Iconium is that I didn't find out until I got there, is that the last two pastors spent about 50, 60 years there. And 60 of those years, well, the two pastors both are products of Carver College.
Wow. That is so cool.
How about that?
And 140 years old, such a deep, as you said, as describing it, rich history of both Carver and Iconium Baptist Church. Wouldn't it be? I just love to just kind of listen to those that started from during the civil rights movement, just to listen, to hear the stories, yes. And just to see, wow, what a treat that would be. God has just placed you in just such a beautiful place. The right man, as I mentioned, the right man for the job, right there in front of me on Two Pastors Unplugged, Dr. C.L. Jordan. Doc, thank you so much. We want people to find out more about Carver, carver.edu, and of course, Iconium, right there in the Pittsburgh area. It's been a while since I've been to that area. I'd love to come see you sometime. I think that'd be really, really cool. And for those maybe that are not familiar with Atlanta, there is a Pittsburgh community, and as Doc mentioned, it's one of the oldest African-American communities. It's just pretty amazing. Doc, we'd love to have you back. God's blessings to you. Again, thanks for all you do. Thanks for keeping on. Hope you're staying healthy so you can stick around for another 80 years.
Well, keep praying for me. I'm getting my health mended back together. So
that's good. That's what I want to hear. You're such a blessing. Hey, love to Peggy and the kids, and enjoy all the things that you do. God's blessing is all over you. Well, that's another great guest, Dr. C.L. Jordan on Two Pastors Unplugged. We'll have another one next week, so join us for that. I'm Rick Probst. See you.
That's a wrap of this episode of Two Pastors Unplugged. But hey, don't stop here. You can click the next video and the next one and the next one. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and to the podcast, just search Two Pastors Unplugged on your favorite app. And we want to connect with you during the week. So go to @FaithTalkAtlanta, and we are everywhere across the board. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.